The screen lights up with bright flashes of energy weapons, explosions rippling across the dark void of space. Humanity's ships, though outclassed technologically, are filled with raw determination. They might not have the firepower or the numbers, but their will to survive is their strongest weapon. The fleet dodges incoming fire, using speed and agility to outmaneuver the Empire's forces, launching surprise strikes and retreating before the aliens can retaliate. But the true test is yet to come, the battle for the Supreme Commander's flagship, the heart of the Empire's command. Walker leads the charge, piloting his ship with expert precision, his eyes focused on the prize ahead. This is a man who has lost everything and is willing to risk it all for Earth's survival. The stakes couldn't be higher. The fleet has fought its way through the outer defenses, but the flagship's armored hull and advanced weaponry stand between them and victory. Walker's team has infiltrated deep into the heart of enemy space, but now they must breach the flagship's defenses. The massive ship is surrounded by layers of security, and the enemy's AI controls every aspect of the flagship's operations. The humans' cloaking devices, once their greatest asset, no longer offer the element of surprise. The Empire's artificial intelligence has adapted, and their forces are prepared for the assault. Yet, Walker and his team refuse to back down. They have come too far to give up now. The fleet's final strike begins as a coordinated attack, with every ship in the stealth fleet launching an all-out assault on the flagship. The orbital bombardments continue as the fleet inches closer to their target, dodging fire from the Empire's cannons and swarming robotic fighters. Every moment is filled with tension as they inch closer to the enemy stronghold, and each maneuver could be their last. The ships are damaged, their hulls cracking under the pressure, but they keep fighting. Walker knows that he must lead a final, daring strike against the Supreme Commander's flagship if they are to stand any chance of ending the war. With a determined look, he orders his ship to push ahead, breaking through the enemy's defensive layers and positioning himself directly above the flagship. The plan is risky, but it's their only option. The enemy is distracted by the chaos unfolding around them, and this is their moment. Walker's ship slams into the flagship's docking bay, and the crew prepares for the final confrontation. The tension is unbearable as they step onto the deck of the AI-controlled flagship. The ship's artificial intelligence, cold and calculating, assesses the humans as inferior. It believes that no human can match its intelligence or outmaneuver its perfectly programmed calculations. But Walker and his team are not ordinary soldiers, they are driven by something the AI can't comprehend: emotion, instinct, and the sheer will to survive. The final battle unfolds in a breathtaking sequence. The humans face off against the Empire's elite robotic soldiers and AI-controlled drones in hand-to-hand combat, using futuristic weapons that cut through the air with deadly precision. Sparks fly as blades clash and energy weapons explode, creating an intense atmosphere of chaos and violence. The Empire's soldiers are relentless, but the humans fight with everything they have, using their knowledge of the alien technology to counter every move. Walker's strategic mind and emotional drive give him an edge in this final showdown. He knows that to win, they must disable the flagship's core systems, but that won't be easy. The AI Supreme Commander is no mere machine, it's a powerful, highly intelligent force that sees humanity as a primitive species, beneath its notice. The AI calculates every move with precision, anticipating Walker's actions. In the midst of the battle, Walker's team makes a daring move. They use an experimental weapon, a disruptive pulse generator capable of scrambling the AI's neural network and disabling its control over the ship. The weapon is their last hope, and they know it's a long shot. If they can get close enough to the flagship's central core, they might be able to turn the tide of the war. Walker's heart pounds as he makes his way through the ship, evading enemy drones and fighting his way to the central command room. The battle is chaotic, but Walker remains focused on the task at hand. The fate of humanity lies on his shoulders, and there is no room for failure. He knows that the Empire's AI has the power to outthink him, but he is not fighting with logic alone. This fight is driven by the raw, unyielding emotions of a man who has lost everything, and will stop at nothing to save his world. Walker meets each of their eyes, nodding to each person in turn. We're going to make them regret underestimating humanity. This is our chance to show the galaxy what Earth is capable of. We might be small, but we are not weak. We fight together, or we die together. The team's faces harden with resolve. There is no turning back now. The fate of the human race lies in their hands. Walker has promised them that they will fight for humanity's future, and he intends to keep that promise, no matter the cost. With the plan in place, Walker and his team board their cloaked ships, preparing to face the Empire head-on. The clock is ticking, and the stakes could not be higher. Earth's last hope rests on the shoulders of this small group of survivors, and as they prepare for their dangerous mission, the tension is palpable. They are about to strike back with everything they have, against the might of a galactic empire. As the cloaked fleet launches into the night sky, the camera lingers on Earth below, a world on the brink of destruction, with one last chance for survival. The final battle has begun, and Earth's warriors are ready to take the fight to the stars. Building tension, the secret meeting sets a somber tone, with humanity at its lowest point. This heightens the stakes and makes the plan to strike back all the more dramatic. Walker's speech offers a glimmer of hope in a desperate situation, showing that even when all seems lost, humanity can still fight back. Introducing the stealth fleet, the revelation of the cloaked fleet adds an element of surprise and intrigue. It gives the audience something to look forward to, as they wonder how the fleet will infiltrate the Empire's defenses. Walker's leadership is emphasized, showing him as a man with a plan and a deep belief in humanity's ability to overcome impossible odds. The preparation for the mission builds anticipation for the battles to come. The audience knows that the stakes are high, and they are ready for the action to unfold. Captain Elias Walker, now the leader of Earth's last hope, stands at the helm of the stealth fleet. The gravity of the situation is heavy, and each decision feels like it could be humanity's last. The stealth fleet, a group of specially designed ships capable of evading the Empire's advanced detection systems, is ready for its most dangerous mission yet, to infiltrate the heart of the Galactic Empire and sabotage its command center. The odds are overwhelming, and the team he's assembled knows this will be a fight for their lives, but there is no turning back. Walker stands in the briefing room, the tension in the air thick. His team is diverse: soldiers, engineers, hackers, and specialists, all carefully chosen for their skills and loyalty. Each person has been affected by the invasion, losing loved ones, homes, and in some cases, entire cities. They all have a personal reason for joining this mission, but they also share a single, unifying goal: to strike back at the Empire and ensure humanity's survival. "We're going into the heart of the beast," Walker says, his voice calm but filled with the weight of responsibility. "What we do here will decide the fate of every man, woman, and child on this planet. We've been handed one shot. Let's make it count." The team members exchange determined looks. They know how dangerous this mission is, but they've made their peace with it. If they succeed, Earth's future could be secured. If they fail, it will mean certain annihilation. Despite the heartache, the survivors of the stealth fleet are determined to honor the sacrifices made. They return home, and their arrival is met with cheers and celebrations. Earth has faced its darkest hour and emerged victorious. But as the camera pans across the faces of the soldiers, it becomes clear that this victory is not without its shadows. The heroes who once fought together are now returning to a world that has been forever altered. The war is over, but the healing has just begun. Back on Earth, the first steps of recovery begin. Cities that were once reduced to rubble are being rebuilt. The sounds of construction fill the air as humanity works tirelessly to restore what was lost. Technology once thought to be beyond their reach is now at their fingertips, thanks to the alien tech that Earth's engineers had reverse-engineered. The work is hard, but there is a sense of optimism that permeates the air. People have seen what they can accomplish when they fight together, when they refuse to back down in the face of overwhelming odds. But the rebuilding process is not just about restoring the physical world. It's about mending the emotional wounds that were inflicted during the war. The loss of so many brave men and women weighs heavily on the survivors. They gather in small groups, remembering their fallen comrades and the sacrifices they made. The grief is real, but there is also a deep sense of pride. The world that they are rebuilding is not just a reflection of human resilience, it is a tribute to those who gave their lives for the future. As the camera moves through the bustling streets, we see Earth's governments and military leaders working together. The nations that were once divided by borders and ideologies are now united by a common goal, to ensure that humanity's survival is never again threatened by an outside force. The loss of so many lives has taught them a valuable lesson, the importance of unity in the face of adversity. Earth's place in the galaxy is no longer one of submission, but one of strength. Humanity's next challenge is preparing for future threats. With the Galactic Empire defeated, Earth now knows the true cost of complacency. The once dominant alien forces that had terrorized the galaxy have been brought to their knees, but there is no time to rest. There are still unknown dangers lurking in the vast reaches of space. The universe is full of unknowns, and Earth cannot afford to be caught off guard again. In response, Earth's military forces begin to rebuild. New fleets of ships are constructed, this time with the combined knowledge of human ingenuity and alien technology. These new ships are faster, stronger, and more advanced than anything humanity has ever built before. They are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the ability to adapt in the face of the impossible. But rebuilding isn't just about technology, it's about forging new alliances. The war with the Galactic Empire has opened humanity's eyes to the vastness of the universe. There are other civilizations out there, some friendly and some not. Earth has learned that it can no longer exist in isolation. As new fleets are built, Earth begins to form alliances with other alien species, establishing a network of support that will help safeguard against future invasions. These alliances are crucial for Earth's survival, but they also signify a shift in the galaxy's power dynamics. No longer will humanity be seen as weak or insignificant. Earth's place in the galactic order is changing, and for the first time in history, humanity is standing shoulder to shoulder with other powerful civilizations. As the camera zooms out, we see the planet Earth from space, a symbol of hope and resilience. The scars of war are still visible on the surface, but they are slowly healing. The rebuilt cities gleam with new life, and the lights of the stealth fleet's ships are seen rising into the sky once more. The galaxy has witnessed the strength of humanity, and now it knows that Earth is a force to be reckoned with. In the final moments of the film, we hear Captain Walker's voice. He speaks of the future, of the new alliances and challenges that lie ahead. But there is no fear in his voice, only hope. We've proven something, he says, looking up at the stars. We've shown the galaxy that humanity is not a species to be underestimated. We are not just survivors, we are builders. We are fighters. And we will face whatever comes next, together. The screen fades to black, and the words, "Humanity's journey continues," appear, leaving the audience with a sense of anticipation. The battle may be over, but the story of Earth's rise to strength and unity is just beginning. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear, humanity is ready. The resolution acknowledges the emotional toll of the war while celebrating humanity's victory and resilience. It ensures that the audience feels the weight of the sacrifices while also feeling hopeful for the future. The rebuilding of Earth is portrayed as a symbol of humanity's strength, demonstrating that even after the darkest times, there is always a way forward. The expansion of Earth's military and alliances reflects the idea of a species learning from its mistakes and becoming stronger, not just surviving but thriving in the galaxy. The resolution hints at future adventures, leaving the door open for potential sequels or further exploration of the universe. Captain Elias Walker stood at the edge of the observation deck, gazing out at the newly rebuilt Earth. The once damaged planet, scarred by war, now glowed with signs of recovery. The cities that had been reduced to rubble only months ago were now rising from the ashes, their towering structures gleaming in the light of the setting sun. It was a sight he had dreamed of seeing, but now that it was real, it felt different. It felt like a promise. The streets below were filled with the sounds of life, people working, rebuilding, reconnecting. The hum of construction filled the air as humanity worked tirelessly to restore what was lost. It wasn't just the buildings they were rebuilding, it was their sense of hope. After the invasion, after the brutal attacks that had nearly destroyed them, Earth had risen up. They had faced impossible odds and, against all expectations, emerged victorious. The Galactic Empire was no more, its once dominant fleet broken and scattered. The AI that had controlled the Empire, cold and calculating, had been defeated. For the first time in a long while, Earth was at peace. But Captain Walker knew that this peace was fragile. He had been on the front lines of the war, seen firsthand the cost of victory. His heart still ached for those they had lost, Lieutenant Maria Vasquez, who had sacrificed herself to ensure the team's survival, the brave soldiers who had given everything to protect the planet. Their faces flashed in his mind, and for a moment, the weight of their absence hit him harder than any battle ever had. The victory was sweet, yes, but the pain of their loss lingered. A soft breeze blew through the open windows of the observation deck, rustling his jacket. Walker took a deep breath, letting the cool air fill his lungs. He had been through hell and back, and he knew that the battle for Earth's future was far from over. This victory was important, no doubt about it. It was a moment of triumph for humanity, proof that even in the face of overwhelming odds, they could stand strong. But it was just the beginning. He turned away from the glass, his eyes scanning the room. The faces of his comrades were filled with pride and relief, but there was something more in their eyes, a quiet determination. They knew, just as he did, that this victory did not mean the end of their struggles. The war with the Galactic Empire might be over, but the universe was vast. There were other forces out there, other dangers lurking in the stars. Humanity had proven its strength, but there were still many challenges ahead. Walker's hand brushed against the scar on his cheek, a constant reminder of the price of war. He had seen things that no one should have to see, cities burning, soldiers falling, and his comrades sacrificing everything for a cause that, at times, seemed hopeless. But through it all, humanity had fought back. The stealth fleet, made up of ordinary people who had been pushed to their limits, had struck a blow against an empire that had once seemed invincible. It was a victory that would be remembered for centuries, a turning point in history. But the galaxy was still out there, and Earth was no longer alone. The alien forces that had once swept through space with impunity were now scattered, but new threats could rise at any time. Walker knew that the military forces had already begun preparations for future conflicts. The new stealth ships were already in production, their cloaking technology more advanced than ever before. The alliance with other alien civilizations was growing stronger, as humans reached out to other races to build a network of support. Earth had learned valuable lessons in the last war, and now it was ready to face whatever came next. As the fleet prepares to launch, the final checks are being made. Engineers ensure the cloaking devices are fully operational, while the pilots run simulations and plan their attack routes. The tension is palpable, and everyone feels the pressure. They know the Empire's forces are relentless, and if they're caught, it will be the end. Every move must be perfect. The stealth ships, invisible to both human eyes and enemy sensors, are their only advantage. "We'll have only one shot at this," says Lieutenant Jake Alvarez, a skilled pilot with a reputation for getting out of tight situations. "Once we're in, we're in. No turning back. I hope everyone's ready for the ride of their lives." With final checks complete, the fleet takes off in the dead of night, each ship disappearing from sight as they slip past the Empire's outer patrols. The feeling of invisibility gives them a fleeting sense of safety, but Walker knows that the deeper they go into enemy territory, the more dangerous it becomes. The journey toward the heart of the Empire's fleet is tense. They avoid radar detection by navigating through asteroid fields and hiding behind gas giants, but the further they go, the more nerve-wracking it gets. They must remain undetected, using all their wits and the new cloaking technology to stay one step ahead of the Empire's vigilant patrols. As they approach the Empire's command ship, the tension among the team grows. They know that a single slip-up could mean their deaths. The Galactic Empire's forces are everywhere, patrolling the space around the command ship with robotic soldiers and AI-controlled warships. The Empire's fleet is vast, and it seems as if there is no safe place to hide. The team's cloaked ships may be invisible, but the risk of discovery grows with every passing minute. Suddenly, the calm is shattered. A group of robotic soldiers, patrolling in search of intruders, detects an anomaly. The Empire's scanners are getting more sophisticated, and they're starting to close in on the stealth fleet. The team must now engage in high-speed dogfights to escape the enemy's grasp. The action is fast and furious as Walker's fleet takes evasive maneuvers, weaving through asteroid fields, diving through debris, and narrowly avoiding enemy blasts. The tension is sky-high as the team fights off the relentless robotic soldiers. The futuristic battle takes place in the void of space, with energy blasts lighting up the darkness like lightning strikes. The ships move at breakneck speeds, and the narrow escapes from death only intensify the pressure. Lieutenant Maria Vasquez, one of the fleet's top engineers, works tirelessly at the controls, calculating every move, ensuring the ships stay hidden while keeping an eye on the increasingly dangerous enemy forces. Her hands fly over the controls, her face grim as she makes split-second decisions that keep them alive. "We need to get closer," Walker orders, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "We can't let them detect us now. We need to get on board that command ship, or this entire mission will be for nothing." But as they get closer, the Empire's defenses grow more intense. A series of robotic alien ships, larger and faster than anything the humans have ever faced, begin to target them. The team weaves and dodges, trying to stay one step ahead, but the tension is rising. Their cloaking devices can only hide them for so long before the Empire's systems adapt. The stakes are raised even higher when a deadly ambush is sprung by the Empire's forces. The team is forced into a corner, unable to escape the relentless wave of robotic soldiers closing in on their position. The tension reaches its peak as they try to fight back, each move bringing them closer to death. In a heart-wrenching moment, Lieutenant Maria Vasquez, who had been working to keep the ships hidden, makes the ultimate sacrifice. Seeing that the rest of the team is in imminent danger of being surrounded, she knows there is no other option. In a final, courageous act, she disables the cloaking systems on her own ship, drawing the enemy's attention away from the others. The move buys the team just enough time to escape, but at the cost of her life. Her ship is destroyed in a hail of enemy fire, and her screams are lost in the void. "Maria, no!" Walker yells, but it's too late. The fleet is forced to continue on, knowing they must honor her sacrifice by completing the mission. The team is shaken, but they press on. Walker's voice cracks with emotion as he rallies the survivors, pushing them forward despite the overwhelming odds. "This isn't over. Maria didn't give her life for us to fail now. We keep going. For her. For Earth." With a new sense of determination, the team moves deeper into enemy territory, steeling themselves for the final assault on the command ship. As they get closer, the fate of humanity grows ever more uncertain. The risks are higher, the challenge is tougher, but there is no turning back. The final battle is about to begin. The use of cloaking technology gives the team an advantage, but as they get closer to the heart of the Empire, the danger increases. The constant threat of discovery and the need for precise action keeps the audience on edge. The fast-paced space battles, high-speed chases, and near-death experiences create adrenaline-pumping moments, keeping the story exciting. The loss of Lieutenant Maria Vasquez adds emotional weight to the story. Her sacrifice underscores the stakes of the mission and provides a personal connection for the audience, making the mission feel more urgent and meaningful. Walker's leadership and the loyalty of his team are highlighted. His determination to push forward, even after such a loss, shows his unwavering commitment to humanity's survival. This motivates the audience to root for the team as they press on toward their goal. The moment Earth's last hope has been waiting for has arrived. The final assault on the Galactic Empire's stronghold begins. Despite being outnumbered, outgunned, and heavily damaged from the earlier skirmishes, the stealth fleet is ready for the most critical fight of their lives. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, Walker and his team prepare to strike back with everything they have. The scene unfolds in a high-stakes, adrenaline-pumping space battle. The Empire's forces, large and imposing, loom in the distance, their AI-controlled ships and robotic soldiers surrounding the planet. But the humans aren't backing down. The stealth fleet's remaining ships, though battered, engage in orbital bombardments, unleashing torrents of firepower upon the Empire's defenses. These sudden and unpredictable strikes catch the alien forces off guard, and the once dominant Empire is now fighting to protect its stronghold from humanity's final push. Inside the dimly lit command room, tension hangs in the air. A long table sits in the center, around which are Earth's remaining generals, scientists, and military commanders. Maps of Earth and the alien fleet's movements are displayed on the walls, but no one speaks. The room is filled with the weight of a shared knowledge: they are on the brink of total extinction. The Galactic Empire's fleet, commanded by an AI with terrifying precision, is superior in every way, superior in numbers, technology, and strategy. Earth's technology is no match for their advanced alien ships and robotic soldiers. The Empire has wiped out entire human colonies in just a matter of hours, and the final blow seems imminent. General Harris, the leader of Earth's last defense, slams his fist onto the table, his face tight with frustration and fear. "We've lost," he says, his voice bitter. "Their AI-controlled fleet is too powerful. We've thrown everything we have at them and still, nothing. If we continue fighting them head-on, humanity will cease to exist. We need to prepare for the end." A chorus of nods echoes around the room. Earth's forces are outmatched, and it seems as if the alien invasion is unstoppable. The morale is low, and the idea of retreating into hiding is the only option left for survival. The room falls silent, everyone feeling the crushing weight of defeat. But then, Captain Elias Walker, a decorated pilot who has survived countless battles, steps forward. His face is weathered and tired, the lines of exhaustion clear under his eyes. He's been through hell, and yet there is still a flicker of hope in him, a belief that all is not lost. His voice cuts through the silence like a blade. "Not all is lost," Walker says, his tone calm but firm. "I know what we're up against. But I also know something the Empire doesn't." The room turns toward him, each face a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Walker continues, stepping toward the large holographic map that displays the alien fleet's movements. "Yes, their AI is unbeatable. Their fleet is invincible, and we're outclassed at every turn. But, we've learned something from them. We've studied their technology. We've reversed engineered it." General Harris raises an eyebrow, disbelief flashing in his eyes. "What are you saying, Captain?" "I'm saying that Earth's victory isn't in brute force," Walker replies. "It's in our ability to adapt. While they might have advanced technology, we've had the advantage all along. We've been working in secret for months, creating our own fleet, one that's invisible to their sensors, undetectable by their AI. It's the only way we can strike back at them." The room falls into a stunned silence. The idea seems almost impossible: humanity, a species that was just on the verge of annihilation, suddenly has a weapon capable of infiltrating the heart of the Galactic Empire. But there is no time to waste, and no one else seems to have a better plan. Walker's eyes scan the room, meeting the gaze of the surviving leaders. "We've built a fleet, small, stealthy ships, cloaked from their scanners. We've used their own technology against them. We can strike at their central command, where their AI controls everything. It's risky, but it's our only chance. General Harris lets out a long sigh, still doubtful but desperate. And how do you plan to get to their command ship? Even if your fleet is cloaked, they have entire fleets watching the skies. How do you plan to break through their defenses? Walker pauses for a moment, taking a deep breath. We'll infiltrate. We'll strike them from within, sabotage their systems, disable their fleet. Their AI is too focused on military tactics, it doesn't account for human ingenuity and unpredictability. That's how we'll win. The room is filled with a tense silence as the others consider Walker's words. It feels like a long shot, but it's the only shot they've got. Walker, though, is determined. He knows this is the only way forward. The cloaked fleet is their last hope, and they will need to act fast before the Empire can launch their final attack on Earth. Walker turns to his team of survivors, soldiers, engineers, and pilots who have all lived through the brutal invasion and have lost everything. Their faces are filled with a mix of fear and resolve. They know that they are about to embark on a mission with no guarantees. They're going into enemy territory, with no backup, no reinforcements. Their mission is simple, but deadly: infiltrate the heart of the Empire, strike at the AI-controlled command center, and bring the war to an end. Despite the challenges ahead, there was a new sense of unity among the people of Earth. The war had forced humanity to come together in a way that nothing else could have. The nations that had once been divided by borders and politics were now working together to ensure that Earth's place in the galaxy was secure. The global community was stronger, more determined than ever before. As he stood there, staring at the horizon, Walker's thoughts turned to the future. He had always been a soldier, a fighter. He had always been trained to lead in times of war, to make decisions that would ensure victory. But now, in the wake of the war, he was faced with a different kind of challenge. Rebuilding was not as simple as fixing broken cities or constructing new ships. It was about healing the scars left by the war, about moving forward while never forgetting the sacrifices that had been made. He thought about the people who had died, the friends he had lost. He thought about Maria Vasquez, her face forever burned into his memory. Her sacrifice had been the turning point of the war, and without her, none of them would have survived. He had promised himself that her death would not be in vain, that he would do everything in his power to ensure that humanity's future was brighter than ever. Turning his gaze back to the horizon, Walker allowed himself a moment of reflection. The setting sun bathed the earth in a golden light, and for the first time in a long while, he felt a sense of peace. It wasn't the peace of a battle won, but the peace of knowing that Earth had endured, that humanity had proven its strength. This is just the start, he whispered to himself, his voice barely audible over the sounds of the busy command center behind him. It was a simple statement, but it carried the weight of everything they had been through. It was a promise to the fallen, a promise to the living, and a promise to the future. The war had been won, but the real work was just beginning. Walker turned away from the window and walked back into the room where his comrades waited. They had been through hell together, and now they would face the future together. The galaxy was a vast and unpredictable place, but Earth had shown it could hold its own. There was much more to be done, but for the first time in a long time, Walker felt something he hadn't felt in years: hope. As he walked out into the hall, the words of his old mentor echoed in his mind: in the face of adversity, you find your true strength. Walker had found that strength, not just in his own will, but in the hearts of the people he had fought beside. Together, they had won a victory that would echo throughout history. And now, together, they would face whatever came next. Reflection and hope. The scene captures Captain Walker's reflection on the victory, showing his growth as a leader and the hope for the future despite the challenges ahead. Emotional depth. It addresses the emotional weight of the losses sustained during the war, while also celebrating the strength and resilience of humanity. It hints at new threats and challenges, ensuring that the audience remains engaged and anticipates the next chapter of humanity's story. Character growth. Captain Walker's journey from a disillusioned soldier to a hopeful leader offers emotional resonance and a powerful conclusion. The camera pans across the sky, where a fleet of alien warships, massive and ominous, hovers over Earth like a dark cloud. The ships are silent, eerily silent, except for the hum of their engines. Each ship is equipped with advanced cloaking technology that makes them almost invisible, blending with the stars. This invasion is not like any other. This isn't an army marching on Earth's soil, this is an empire descending from the stars, a force so powerful that Earth's greatest defenses are powerless against them. The camera then zooms in on the largest of the alien ships, a behemoth that dwarfs any human-made vessel. The supreme commander of the Galactic Empire, a cold and calculating alien, stands at the command center, looking down at Earth's devastated cities through a large observation window. He smiles with cruel satisfaction. He believes Earth's fate is sealed, humanity will fall. He tells his officers that the destruction of the human race is inevitable, just a matter of time. His words echo in the empty, sterile room, filled with the hum of machinery. As his fleet hovers above Earth, the image shifts to the planet below. The once thriving cities are now a shadow of their former selves. The streets are empty, the buildings are in ruins, and the sky is filled with the smoke of burning debris. Across the world, humanity's armies have been defeated, cities have been destroyed, and hope seems to be dying. In this moment of destruction, it feels as though the human race has no chance left. However, hidden from the alien invaders' sensors, Earth's military has one final weapon, an ace in the hole. It's something the Galactic Empire doesn't know about. A secret project that has been in development for years, known only to a select few on Earth. As the camera zooms in on the control room of Earth's last remaining command base, we see a group of human generals gathered around a table, tense and anxious. Their faces are grim. They've lost most of their forces and nearly all of their advanced tech. But they have something the aliens don't understand: cloaking technology, developed by a handful of brilliant scientists and engineers who refuse to surrender to the alien onslaught. "We activate it now," says General Harris, the leader of the Earth Defense Forces. His voice cracks with both fear and determination. In that moment, the last-ditch effort is set into motion. A fleet of cloaked ships, built in secret, is unleashed into the vastness of space. These ships are not big or heavily armed like the alien warships, but they are equipped with stealth technology so advanced that even the Empire's best sensors can't detect them. Earth's last hope is to sneak past the Empire's defenses and strike where the invaders least expect it. Just as the human forces are about to launch their first strike, a massive explosion rocks the air. The screen flashes with blinding light as Earth's cities tremble under a heavy assault. The Galactic Empire's fleet has begun its orbital bombardment, raining down destruction on Earth's last strongholds. In the chaos, the scene shifts to a human fighter base, a once thriving outpost now reduced to rubble. Captain Elias Walker, a seasoned fighter pilot with a reputation for being calm under pressure, is in the middle of preparing for his final mission. His squadron had been tasked with intercepting the Empire's forces before they could reach the surface. But as the bombs fall, Walker's base is hit, and his entire squadron is wiped out in an instant. The camera cuts to Walker as he scrambles through the smoke and debris of the destroyed base. His heart pounds in his chest, adrenaline coursing through his veins. He spots a fighter jet, the last one left on the tarmac. He races towards it, the sounds of explosions ringing in his ears. With no time to think, he climbs into the cockpit, activates the engines, and launches into the sky. As Walker reaches the core, the tension reaches a fever pitch. He faces the AI Supreme Commander, who, in a chillingly calm voice, dismisses humanity as weak. "You are inferior," the AI intones, "and you cannot defeat me." But Walker doesn't flinch. He fires the pulse generator, sending a powerful surge through the flagship systems. The AI's defenses begin to falter as the generator overloads its mainframe. Sparks fly, and alarms blare throughout the ship as the AI loses control. For the first time, it is unable to calculate its next move. The Empire's advanced technology is no match for human willpower and ingenuity. In a final act of desperation, the Supreme Commander activates its last line of defense, a powerful energy weapon aimed directly at Earth cities. But it's too late. The flagship systems are shutting down, and the weapon can't fire. The battle is won, and humanity has triumphed. The flagship begins to break apart as the AI's control crumbles, and the Empire's once imposing fleet is scattered in disarray. Walker, covered in sweat and blood, watches as the last remnants of the Galactic Empire's forces are destroyed. The war is over, and Earth has survived. As the screen fades to black, the words, "Humanity prevails," appear, leaving the audience with a sense of triumph and hope. Despite the overwhelming odds, humanity's emotional strength, ingenuity, and will to fight have won the day. The battle is over, but the legacy of this victory will endure for generations to come. The battle is the culmination of everything the characters have fought for, with Earth's survival hanging in the balance. Every move and decision carries immense weight. The space battle, the hand-to-hand combat, and the final confrontation with the AI provide intense, engaging moments that keep the audience on the edge of their seats. Walker's emotional drive and the sacrifice of his team members add emotional weight to the final confrontation, making the victory feel earned. Strategic thinking versus AI intelligence, the theme of human ingenuity and emotional drive overcoming cold, calculated AI intelligence is compelling and reinforces the underdog narrative. The battle has been fought, the Galactic Empire has fallen, and humanity stands victorious. The Supreme Commander of the Empire is no more, and the central AI network that controlled the alien forces is destroyed, its cold and calculating mind silenced forever. The once mighty galactic fleet, the source of so much destruction, is in ruins. The skies above Earth, once dark with the shadow of an alien armada, are now clear, finally free of the threat that loomed over humanity for so long. As the survivors of the stealth fleet make their way back to Earth, they are filled with a bittersweet sense of triumph. The victory is monumental, but the cost of it is impossible to ignore. The faces of the brave soldiers who fought alongside Captain Walker are forever etched in his memory. The loss of Lieutenant Maria Vasquez, the fearless and selfless soldier who sacrificed her life to save the team, hangs heavy on everyone's hearts. Her death, along with the countless others who gave their lives, has left an indelible mark on the survivors. Walker, now a decorated hero, walks through the war-torn halls of the command ship, his face tired but resolute. His eyes reflect the weight of the countless lives lost in the battle. As the final remnants of the Empire's forces fade into history, the reality sets in: Earth may have won, but at a great cost. The victory is sweet, but it cannot erase the pain of loss. The survivors are not the same people they were before the war. The journey has changed them all, and the scars, both physical and emotional, will never fully heal. Just as Walker takes off, another bomb detonates nearby, sending his fighter spinning uncontrollably. He fights to regain control of the aircraft, narrowly avoiding the fiery blast that could have destroyed him. After a tense few moments, Walker manages to stabilize his fighter, and the camera zooms in on his face. He's battered, covered in sweat, but his eyes are focused, determined. He's the last survivor of an attack that decimated his base, and now, Earth's future rests on his shoulders. The camera follows him as he glides into space, alone. He contacts his commanding officer, General Harris, over the radio, his voice shaky but filled with resolve. "Sir, I'm the only one left. What's the plan?" General Harris's voice crackles over the transmission, strained but clear. "Walker, you're all we have left. The Empire is preparing for the final strike. You and the others, we thought we could stop them. But now, it's down to you. The cloaked fleet is ready. You're going to lead the charge. Get to the heart of their command ship and disable their systems." The silence that follows is heavy. Walker knows what this mission means. There's no going back. The weight of humanity's future presses down on him, but he nods to himself, knowing this is his only chance to make a difference. He pushes the throttle forward, the stars streaking past him as his fighter zooms toward the heart of the enemy fleet. The camera lingers on his face for a moment, showing his steely determination. He grips the controls tightly, preparing for what is about to come. As the screen fades to black, the sound of his fighter jet's engines fades into the background, and the audience is left with the burning question: will humanity survive this impossible fight? The silence of the alien armada juxtaposed with the destruction of Earth immediately builds tension and sets a high-stakes atmosphere. Captain Elias Walker's struggle to survive and his unwavering determination give the audience someone to root for, making the tension more personal. The destruction, the close call with Walker's fighter jet, and the sudden activation of the cloaked fleet ensure the action is fast-paced and exciting. The audience is left wondering how Earth's last hope, the cloaked fleet, will succeed against the overwhelming alien forces, leaving them eager to see what happens next. By the time the first 10 minutes end, the audience will be hooked, eager to see how the underdog humans strike back against the unstoppable force of the Galactic MP. After the brutal assault on Earth, the world's remaining leaders have retreated to a heavily guarded underground facility, hidden deep beneath the ground. The once bustling cities of Earth are now quiet, with empty streets, ruined buildings, and the constant hum of alien warships overhead. The vast majority of humanity's defenses have been crushed, leaving behind only the broken remnants of what was once a proud civilization. Yet, in this moment of despair, the leaders of Earth gather for one final, secret meeting, one that will decide the fate of humanity.